Now, one team I think many people are sleeping on, who can make a deep playoff run and maybe even win the championship if the chips fall in their favor this year, are the Portland Trail Blazers. I know they had to face the Lakers in the first round of the playoffs after the play-in victory against the Grizzlies. However, I believe the Blazers have the tools and personnel to upset the Lakers in the first round and turn some heads further in the playoffs. In this video, I'll share a few reasons why the Blazers are the dark horse team in the playoffs this year, starting off with the obvious points, building up to the not so obvious points. Point number 1, they have a better / healthier roster of players. Just last year, the Blazers made it to the Western Conference Finals with these players. Now they have an even better roster with the veteran and not washed up Melo, the underrated addition of Hassan Whiteside, and one of the biggest surprise players in the NBA bubble, Gary Trent Jr., with his 3-point shooting. If all these guys play even semi-well with CJ and Dame playing top-notch, this team will surprise many people in the playoffs. Also, if Hassan Whiteside turns up for the playoffs, and along with playing great defense, gives the team a consistent 10 to 20 points a night, the Blazers will be an even more formidable force than people thought. Point number 2, they have a third scoring guy in Carmelo Anthony. I wholeheartedly believe how far the Blazers make it past the first round this year is deeply connected with how well Melo plays. The problem with the Blazers in pretty much all seasons prior is that in order to get a big win in the playoffs, the team needed either CJ or Dame to play lights out, with the other at least playing decently. In other words, if either CJ or Dame played poorly or got cold, the team got thrashed. However, they now seem to have a reliable third guy in Melo to take off a lot of the scoring pressure, which will mitigate the negative consequences of either Dame or CJ slipping up more than normal in past seasons. Yes, I know they had Nurkic as a sort of third guy in past seasons, but I believe he should score when possible and concentrate more on defense now with Melo on the team, especially since the Blazers need to improve much more on the defensive end. Also, Melo is the one who hit that clutch 3 at the end of the fourth quarter, which pretty much sealed the Blazers' play-in victory against a young but formidable Grizzlies team. My third point, the Blazers have another 3-point sniper in Gary Trent Jr. now. Dame and Trent led the bubble in threes made that might have changed in the last few games though. The Blazers already have 2 snipers in CJ and Dame. If they get anything similar to the production Trent gave them in the bubble with his perimeter shooting, the Blazers will mow over teams, yes, even the Lakers with King James. Gary Trent Jr. cannot go cold for a few games or the Blazers' trail of glory to the finals will be snuffed out early. Also, Trent's 3-point shooting will prove especially useful in their first round matchup since the Lakers have struggled to defend the perimeter well and is one of their biggest weaknesses, as exposed in their first game. My fourth point, with Melo, the Blazers will be more hungry than ever. Now, Dame, CJ, and all the other guys are hungry enough, especially Dame, the man who's been on a tear lately, dropping what seems 50 points after 50 points. I feel with a championship start to Carmelo Anthony on the Blazers, the team will be more driven than ever to make that finals push and potentially win it all. I feel the time for the Blazers to win a championship is now, especially since Melo is already running on his last legs, and if he declines as people already thought he had, they will need another third scoring guy, which is a hard sell given not many players want to play for the Blazers, at least not ones who are good enough to make an immediate impact on the team. With all the reasons mentioned, this is why I believe the Blazers are the dark horse team of the 2020 NBA playoffs. Let me know if you agree or disagree with me in the comment section below, and who your dark horse team is if it isn't the Blazers. Also, if anyone thinks I decided to make this video after the Blazers won their first game against the Lakers in order to make my prediction look more legit, here's proof against that in the form of my script, which was done 3 days ago. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and if you vibe with my content, then subscribe to join the Hoop Stinker Nation.
Rage on that beat, going crazy.